season, side of autumn, not spooky season, side of autumn. I'll have a separate kind of like Halloween spooky season, a separate video for those, but I've got six cozy fantasies / one romance for the cozy side of autumn. I will apologise in advance for any banging happening outside. My neighbours have been doing work for the past week, and every time I go to film they start doing it, but I really want to get this video up before I do my TBR jar picks, my September reads, because my aim is to include 3 of these books in September and 3 of them in October. So yeah, I wanted to get this filmed and put up probably today, so I can do my TBR video later on in the week, probably on Sunday. Yes. Okay, with all that being said, let's get straight on into my... They're going to be annoying me outside. Straight on into the TBR for cozy season, cozy vibes. The first one is a witchy romance. Hex and the City by Kate Johnson. I literally know nothing about this book. My manager at work was just getting rid of some books, and she said that she thought I would enjoy this one, so she gave it to me. The cover is just like peak cozy autumn vibes, and I'm obsessed with it. I've read last October, actually, I read A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch, and this cover kind of gives me similar vibes to that. So it's Hex and the City. So this one, the blurb says things you should know about Poppy. 1, she's a witch. 2, she has magical hair. So is it like a Rapunzel retelling? 3, she lives with Iris, the head of her coven, in a beautiful ramshackle house next to the Highgate Cemetery. 4, she works at a magic shop in Covent Garden, but not real magic, as that would be highly irresponsible. Then Poppy accidentally sells gorgeous celebrity Axel Storm, all 6'4" of him, a cursed pendant. As all hell breaks loose, will sparks fly both in and out of the cauldron? Some highlights on the cover: we have a spooky house, a spooky tree, a graveyard, some bats on the back. Again, there's more like spooky graveyard vibes. So I think this one is going to be perfect for the spooky, well, cozy. It's definitely more cozy for cozy romantasy than anything else, but I'm very excited is less cozy. It's more a romance. It looks a little, I don't know, creepy. It's Soul Searching by Lyla Sage. This is the cover. Yeah, it just looks a little bit like spooky, I guess, but because it's a romance, I'm like, cozy vibes. It says home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. Lyla Sage wrote Done and Dusted, which I read a couple months ago and did enjoy. I liked her writing style, so I'm very excited to see what she does with this one. I'm actually not too sure what this one is about, so let's find out together. Oh, there's the actual cover for this one. Home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. Collins Cartwright does not want to go home. Sweetwater Peak, Wyoming was supposed to be in her rearview mirror, but when she finds out a developer is trying to buy her parents' antique shop, she doesn't have a choice. At least that's what she tells her family. They don't need to know that she's lost her job and is out of money, or that the ghosts that have always been her companions have recently gone silent. So there's ghosts. Collins draws the line at moving back with her parents. Luckily for her, the local upholsterer has a room for rent. Unluckily, it is absolutely crawling with ghosts who are freezing her out. Brady Cooper. I thought that said Bradley Cooper, and I was like, surely we can't just be taking full-on celebrity names and putting them in books. Brady Cooper is absolutely fine. Seriously, there's no secret reason why he decided to uproot his life and suddenly move to Sweetwater Peak. He just needed a change of pace. At least that's what he tells himself. When he agrees to let Colin stay in his spare room, he doesn't know that she's constantly talking to thin air, or that she looks like that. Good thing their arrangement is only temporary, right? Yeah, so it kind of is exactly what I think I was expecting from it. A romance with a bit of a creepy twist, which is perfect. I might see if I can keep this one for October rather than September. But this one does come out in September. Same with Uncharmed. This one also comes out in September. This one's also nice and short. I read her other book, Done and Dusted, in literally a day and a half. So hopefully this one will do the same vibes for me. Okay, the next book is one that is a sequel, but I asked you guys if I could read it by itself, and I was told that it is completely fine to read it by itself. They're interconnected standalones, so I shouldn't be confused. But that one is A Witch's Guide to Magical Inkeeping. I'm not sure what the lighting's just disappeared. The first one in the series was The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and this is like the interconnected standalone to that one. Really sorry about the lighting change. The sun's just gone behind a cloud. Hopefully it's a moody vibe for this video. But it says it's a feel-good, cozy, magical, witchy romance that everyone is desperate to read. It's got a very cute cover. There's a little cauldron on the side of it as well. What if love is the best magic of all? What a good question. Once Sarah, S-E-R-A, Sarah Swan, was once of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrected. Her great Aunt Jasmine from the very recently dead, lost most of her powers, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox, and was exiled from her guild. Is that what happens in the first book? Now she helps Jasmine run an enchanted inn in Lancashire, where she deals with the quirky guest shenanigans and longs for a future that seems lost, until she finds out about an old spell that could restore her power. Enter Luke Larson, handsome magical historian who might have the key to unlocking the spell's secrets. Luke has no interest in the inn's madcap goings on, and is even less interested in letting a certain bewitching innkeeper past his walls, so no one is more surprised when he agrees to help. Running an inn, reclaiming lost power, and staying one step ahead of the watchful guild is a lot for anyone, but Sarah is about to discover she doesn't have to do this alone, and that love might be the best magic of all. The thing is with like cozy witchy fantasies is they're like all the same thing. That's basically the plot for Rewitched, but like it's a vibe, you know, so I will just read the same book 10 different times. Wow, this is the press release that came with this, says that over 100,000 copies of the very secret society of irregular witches sold last year, which is insane. Perfect for fans of Rewitched, Best Hex Ever, and The Honey Witch. A laugh out loud dialogue, swoon-worthy romance. Sounds great. I'm not sure I said, but this is by Sangu Mandana. Okay, and then the final two books on my my cozy season, Autumn TBR, are actually a series. So I've got the Baby Dragon Cafe and the Baby Dragon Bakery. These just have the cutest covers ever, with like the cutest dragons. I just love cozy dragons. So the Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Creshy is the first one, and then the sequel just came out. The sequel came out in August, and that is the Baby Dragon Bakery. These just look so perfect for this season. They just give like pumpkin spice cafe vibes, but dragons, you know. What could you want? It's the cutest and most complicated cafe in town. So Safira opens her cafe for customers with pet baby dragons. Imagine having a pet baby dragon. I mean, I think actually a lot of your clothes and items and house would be burnt down, so maybe it's a good thing to not have a pet baby dragon. She isn't expecting it to be quite so hard to keep the fires burning, but her young dragon patrons keep incinerating the furniture. How dare they? Which means selling coffee isn't covering her costs. Local heartthrob Aiden is a gardener. Of course he is a gardener, what else would he be? Though his disobedient baby dragon is a major distraction from his beloved plants. However, Saphira's cafe gives him an idea. He'll ask Saphira to train his dragon and pay her enough to keep the cafe afloat. They know they're the answer to each other's problems, but happy-go-lucky Saphira and gorgeous but grumpy Aiden couldn't be more different. Can they find a way to work together and maybe even ignite some fire of their own? I think it's like a spicy romance, romantasy. A spicy, cozy romantasy with baby dragons. I read the Baby Dragon Cafe, that's this, the Tea Dragon Society series of graphic novels this year, and they're just so cute. for autumn. Such great vibes. And the pumpkin spice cafe. Let's see, I imagine. Yes, so we're following Lavinia, who's obviously a different character to the first one. I'm trying to decide whether it's a spoiler. She's in love with her best friend. She knows that she is. Her family and friends knows that she is. Even the dragons that she works with at the baby dragon cafe know she's in love with blank. I won't say the name because I've not read the first one and I don't know if that's a spoiler. But okay, so they're interconnected standalones because she works at the baby dragon cafe. The only person who doesn't know is blank. She plans to distract herself from feelings by dating her co-worker. She plans to distract herself from her feelings by dating her co-worker. She and Blank can carry on with their lives hanging